like everyone to imagine a normal night in your household. Maybe you just put your kids to sleep, or you're about to binge watch your favorite show on Netflix. But then unexpectedly, you hear someone break into your house trying to harm you, your loved ones, and steal your things. Now, imagine a typical day at school. You're mid-lecture praying your teacher lets you out early so you can go hang out with your friends after class. But then you hear gunshots in the hall. In our homes, at school, and out in public, we are not expecting to get harmed. Our homes and school especially are supposed to be safe. However, Pew Research says that last year there were 379.4 violent crimes per 100,000 people. To put this into perspective, the United States is home to about 328 million people. So that's roughly 1.25 million violent crimes committed just last year. Violent crimes include things such as aggravated assault, robbery, rape, and murder. To protect ourselves, our homes, our loved ones, and the people around us, every law-abiding citizen of the United States should have the right to bear arms, in both their home and out in public. I bring this topic up because there are currently debates in the United States about gun control, bearing arms, and banning guns entirely. As American citizens, we are granted the right to bear arms by the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment states, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Because of this amendment, we are able to have guns in both our homes and carry them in public. The share of Americans who say gun laws in the U.S. should be made stricter has increased from 52% in 2017 to 60% just last year, according to a survey conducted in September of 2019. Many argue that the right to bear arms by stating banning guns will save lives. They point to the number of mass shootings and all of the gun-related deaths and injuries. However, if more Americans are armed, the likelihood of these crimes being committed would decrease. People who use guns to defend themselves against violent crimes are less likely to be injured than people who use other forms of self-defense or no form of self-defense at all. A 1986 survey of felons for the federal government found that 40% had not committed one or more crimes because they feared that their prospective victims were armed. 34% of criminals have been scared off, shot at, wounded, or captured by an armed victim. This shows that arming civilians with guns will make criminals less likely to commit crime. They will not want to commit crime knowing that the person on the other end has a weapon to defend themselves and could potentially harm the criminal or put them in danger. Another argument is that banning guns or having more gun control will stop criminals from getting access to firearms. Nearly half of adults, or 47%, say there would be fewer mass shootings if it was harder for people to obtain guns legally. Unfortunately, criminals will always find a way to access firearms criminals will always find a way to access firearms. Stricter laws will not prevent criminals from getting guns. It will only make it harder for law-abiding citizens to access firearms to protect themselves, their family, and their homes. An estimated 287,400 prisoners had possessed a firearm during their offense. Among these, more than half, or 56%, had either stolen it, found it at the scene of the crime, or obtained it off the street or from the underground market. Most of the remainder had obtained it from a family member or friend as a gift, and only 7% had purchased it under their own name at a firearm dealer. This data shows that criminals rarely ever get firearms under their own name. This means stricter laws or banning guns entirely would have virtually no effect on the ability of criminals obtaining access to a firearm. As said before, 46% of criminals obtain firearms from the underground market. Limiting our ability to get access will take guns out of the hands of responsible gun owners and put them into the hands of criminals, again, leaving the law-abiding citizens defenseless. If we look at Chicago, for example, they put a ban on gun shops, shooting ranges, assault weapons, and high-capacity magazines. In 2014, Chicago had 2,089 shooting victims, including at least 390 murders. Approximately 50,000 guns were recovered by police in Chicago between 2001 and 2012. The guns came from all 50 states, and more than half came from outside of Illinois. Through trial and error, gun control has been proven not to work. These people were still obtaining guns despite the bans. Lastly, people claim stricter laws or banning guns will protect women and minorities from being a part of gun violence. Everytown for Gun Safety states that while the deadly intersection of guns and intimate partner violence affects all women, it has a disproportionate impact on Black American, Indian, Alaska Native, and Hispanic women. In addition, segments of the LGBTQ+ community and people with disabilities are highly vulnerable to severe forms of relationship abuse. And as a woman myself, I can say that guns can keep women safe in a very unsafe world. Gun violence in America directly affects a woman's safety. According to the Carry Academy, women are 11 times more likely to be attacked with a firearm than men in the United States. For women, carrying a concealed weapon can put them at a huge advantage. Safety is a concern for women as they are the biggest victims of gendered robberies and domestic violence. In fact, in 2016, over 1,800 women were murdered by men, with guns being the most common murder weapon. Because of these statistics, women are becoming more inclined to the idea of concealed carry. Women who have their concealed carry permit are able to have a way to protect themselves, making them feel more safe. Today, 26.4% of women have their concealed carry permit, and I really hope to see this number increase through the years so women can defend themselves and feel a sense of safety when they are in their homes and in public. It is so important for our Second Amendment rights to be granted and protected. Knowing we have a way to protect ourselves, our families, our homes, and of course those around us gives everybody a great sense of safety. Carrying guns deters crime, levels out the playing field between criminals and law-abiding citizens, and provides safety for women like myself. I don't see the gun debate going away, but I hope after careful consideration, people will understand that we don't need more gun control or gun bans.